encountering a little crust. Otherwise, this is great skiing powder. We're looking forward to coming down it. Looking north, looking south. That's our direction. Just a little bit more to go, and we're there. That spindrift is what forms the huge cornices on the ridge. Can you smell the summit? Soon we'll be able to see it. On the summit, which one is higher? That west one or the east one? The map says the east summit is the high point. Let's find out. Here's the summit of Great Western Peak, elevation 10,358 feet in the Lemhis. And this is a believed first ascent by skis or otherwise. There are the tracks on the summit. Give me a minute and we'll build a summit cairn, leave a register, and then we'll take a look around. Here's what we have to say about the peak. Great Western Peak, elevation 10,358 feet, Lemhi Range, first ascent May 5, 1991, up Camp Creek, on skis, first ski descent to follow shortly. Named for the mine at the western base of this peak, first prospected in the 1880s. Rick Bogger, Idaho Falls, Idaho, peak number 221, Kyrie eleison, which is Greek for Lord have mercy. We'll put the summit register with the note in the summit cairn that we just built. And if you are the next person up here, sign in, get in touch with me, and we can swap stories. Immediately to our north is 10,728 foot Mount Hoops, named for Clint Hoops. It was a first ascent by myself on October 15th, 1989, just a few days after Hoops' death. Hoops was a farmer in the Teutonia area, and if you look 80 miles due east of here, you will see the Hoops farm on the horizon. Clint Hoops was chairman of the State Board of Education of Idaho. The ascent of Mount Hoops was made up that east ridge. In the background is the Birch Creek Valley and the Beaverhead Range, with Copper Mountain, Gallagher Peaks, Bloom, and Minor Peak on the Beaverhead crest. Lower Birch Creek Valley empties out into the Snake River Plain. The Hoops Ranch, Rexburg, Idaho, would be in that direction, but because of the clouds you won't be able to see it today. Immediately in front of us is the Idaho National Engineering Laboratory. Beyond that, in the southwesterly direction, would be the city of Idaho Falls. Directly south of us is the high end point of the Lemhi Range, Saddle Mountain. I think the best way to climb Saddle Mountain is up that ridge, which you see right in front of us. We see Jump Off Peak and Howe Peak, King Mountain in the Lost River Range. That's the west summit of this peak. And then across the way is North Twin and South Twin. Holly Mountain rising out of the Little Lost River Valley. Idaho's highest peaks, including Bora Peak, would be in the distance. They're in the clouds today. Along the main crest of the Lemhi's, we see Gloved Peak. Behind it are Swanson Peak and Little Diamond Peak. And that brings us full circle, looking at Mount Hoops again. Just to make sure, we came over to the west summit to see which is higher. And while the west summit looks more like a peak, the east summit, where we were, is actually a little bit higher. Let's look for the summit cairn that we built. You can see it on the top. Okay, the boards are on. Let's start the run. The snow on this north-facing slope is exceptionally fine. Nice, forgiving powder. This is my first Lemhi summit that I've skied off of. So far, so good. It's too bad the light is flat. This has been exceptionally fine skiing down in this bowl. What has happened this winter is that we've had virtually no snow until the month of April, and then it snowed quite a bit. So that has allowed a good firm base to settle in, and what we have here is new fresh snow. So skiing is very good. Whee! The snow cover's getting lean, but that was fun. We are near the end of the skiing portion. Gall dang it, wouldn't it just be fun to ski some sagebrush? Well, let's eke out every last bit of skiable terrain here. Let's hoof it on out. To close out our video, I wanted to show you the namesake of our peak today. This is the Great Western Mine, which is in the Dome Mining District. Mining here got its start in the 1880s. There was a slight rebirth around the turn of the century, say 1906, then another upsurge in 1924. Basically, there hasn't been much done at all since World War II. Lead, silver, and a little copper were the minerals mined here. The log structure with the dirt roof probably dates turn of the century, maybe even older. This old cabin is locked, so we can't go in, but you can see the mud in between the logs. This other structure is newer, and I would suspect it dates from the early 1920s. About the same time the Wilbert Mill was built. We're able to go in this one. Step into the past with me. It's a miner's cabin. Almost looks untouched in the time he left, doesn't it? This is interesting. This is a bottle of nitric acid. Nitric acid was a reagent used to purify the lead-silver ore that was mined here. The ore was concentrated. There would be less shipping cost associated with it. So the concentrating was done in this area. I wouldn't particularly want to spend the night here. This is Rick Bogger from the Great Western Mine, Little Lost River Valley, Idaho. Thanks for coming along on the Climb and Ski today.